Now, class 9, today I was continuing with the Mughal Empire. Now, second battle of Panipat, yesterday I finished. Now, today Akbar takes the reins of government into his own hands. Now, after second battle of Panipat, in 1516, in the year of 1560, Akbar had finally taken over the reins of administration over in his own hand. Bairam Khan chose to go to Mecca on his way. Bairam Khan chose to go to Mecca, but on his way to Mecca, he was slain by an Afghan in January 1561. Akbar's claim to greatness lies in four of his astonishing achievements. Akbar was very great. It can be proved by four of his astonishing achievements. Number one, political unification of the subcontinent. B, a system of orderly administration. C, land revenue system. And 4, racial and religious conciliation in the country. Racial and religious conciliation in the country. Now, after that, all of my students, page B100. Page B100. Now, all of you look page B100. Akbar's conquest. Akbar followed a policy of conquest for the expansion of his empire. Some of his important conquests were those of Malwa, Kangwa, the major part of Rajasthan, Gujarat, Bengal and Bihar. The conquest of Gujarat, Akbar extended his authority over the Deccan. Akbar, after the conquest of Gujarat, he extended his authority over the Deccan. The Mughal annexed Berar, that gave them a permanent footing in Deccan. The Mughals gained victory over Ahmednagar in 1597. Khandesh was included in the Mughal Empire in 1601. In the Deccan, Akbar's dominions included Ahmednagar, Bijapur and Golconda. Akbar's authority had also become firmly established in Assam in the east, in the northwest frontiers of the empire extended up to Kabul and Kandahar. Akbar's Mansabdari system, revenues reforms and policy of religious pacification. Now, Akbar's Mansabdari system. The lowest rank was that of 10, whereas the highest was 5,000. For the nobles, the princes received higher mansabs, the rank of 7,000 each. The mansabdars hold their appointments directly from the emperor. They got their remuneration in cash, not in land grants. In addition to meeting their personal expenses, the mansabdar had to maintain out of his salary a required quota of horses, elephants, mules and cars. The Mughal administrators acted both as military commanders and civil administrators. Mansabdar estates was not hereditary. It was not hereditary. Now then next, land revenue system. Next is land revenue system. So, Akbar's Mansabdari system, again I want to explain you. The lowest rank was that of 10. Lowest rank 10, whereas highest was 5,000. For the nobles, the princes received higher mansabs, the rank of 7,000 each. The mansabdars held their appointments directly from the emperor. They got their remuneration in cash, not in land grants. In addition to meeting their personal expenses, the mansabdar had to maintain out of his salary a required quota of horses, elephants, mules and cars. The Mughal mansabdars acted both as military commanders and civil administrators. Mansabdar estates was not hereditary. Now B, land revenue system. Land revenue Land revenue reforms were introduced in 1580 when Todarmal became the Diwani Ashraf, head of the Land Revenues Department. Todarmal devised a system based on a survey of measurement of land, B. Classification of land according to its productive capacity, and C. Fixation of rates payable in cash or kind by the cultivators. Another important change that Akbar made was the introduction of the Dasala system. Now my students, this Dasala system is very important. Under this system, the average produce of different kinds of lands as well as the prices of the last 10 years were collected from the government. So what is Dasala system? Under this system, the average produce of different kinds of lands as well as the prices of the last 10 years were collected from the government records. The land revenue was fixed at one-third of the average produce. The land revenue was fixed at one-third of the average produce. The benefit of the system was that there was now no necessity of settling the land revenue every year. So there is no necessity of settling the land revenue every year. The state advanced loans to the needy farmers. The state gave loans to the needy farmers. As a result, agriculture flourished. That boosted trade and industry also. As agriculture flourished, that helped to enhance trade and industry. Law and justice. Akbar regarded speedy administration of justice as one of the important duties. So Akbar thought that speedy administration of justice is one of the important duties. The chief Qazi was the foremost judicial officer in the realm. Who? The chief Qazi. Now, he nominated Qazi for the provinces. The bigger towns had their own Qazis. The villagers settled their disputes through the institution of Panchayat. Emperor's court was the final court of justice. What was the final court of justice? The emperor court was the final court of justice. Now my students, today up till this, now next week the remaining part, because it's a very big lengthy chapter, okay, and I am proceeding very slowly because no blackboard, nothing, so explaining slowly and slowly, okay. Wish you a very happy weekend, okay. Thank you.